Town. This is, as the name suggests, a show about fiber and what I'm making with it. It's the 10th of March in the morning, and I thought I'd get a quick episode going before I start my work day. My name is Emily. If you're brand new, hello and welcome. And you can find me on Instagram as Fibertown with an R-E and Chain of Fools on Ravelry. So, a couple things to talk about today. And I'm laughing at myself because I've maybe done this 5 times so far, and it's just been a dog's breakfast, just starting the podcast. So, number 1, stay tuned. I have giveaways today. Although you're probably here for woolly things anyway, but the giveaways are a nice bonus. A few housekeeping things. Handspun Winter. It's got about 10 days more. It is a knit along in the Ravelry group where people are posting pictures of their works in progress, their finished objects, things they're making out of handspun. And this has been going on since the 21st of December. And gosh, that was a long time ago. So much has happened since then. Anyway, reminiscing in my head by myself. Sorry. Yeah, so go and take a look. It's very inspiring. There will be a prize out of my Etsy shop for handspun yarn. At the end of that, I'm giving a prize away today as well for Handspun Winter. And I'm wearing a handspun object. This is my Portland pullover. And this, I'm going to tell you who this is by because it would be silly if I didn't know, which I don't. But I can find out right now. Carrie Bostic Hogue, I think that's how you pronounce her name. This was out of a fleece spin that was from my very first Rhinebeck. It's Opal. She was a Courrier del Rambouillet cross. Let me just tell you, this sweater had a bit of a story this week. I wear it a lot. I put it in my laundry basket without thinking, and it got thrown in the wash. Are you screaming right now? Don't worry, it's okay because I'm wearing it. It really didn't shrink at all. It was put on a regular cycle. Oh gosh, you got a nice view of the yoke before the light got weird. Let me see if I can put up something lighter to fool the camera. Anyway, I adore this pullover, and you can see little Alice hairs on it. It's cozy. I wear it a lot. Yeah, so it's sort of one of my last things I wanted to show you for Handspun Winter, although I think I've worn it recently on the podcast. Anyway, it's a great pullover. Sarah Pomegranate of the Yarns at Yunhu podcast has been doing a Taproot make-along. And that's referring to Taproot magazine, and they have crochet and knitting patterns and recipes. There's so much in the most recent episode or issue that I want to make. There's a Susan B. Anderson colorwork chicken pattern, which is adorable. There are a recipe for bitters, which I have started to collect the ingredients for making some of those. And in fact, I'm going to be foraging in my backyard for dandelion roots for one of them. If my father hasn't pulled them all out, I might have to talk to him about saving me some dandelions to use in my bitters. At any rate, I am all over the place today, aren't I? I don't know what's going on with me. Just bear with me. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. We will survive. I've been saying that to myself a lot lately. We're going to survive. Did I mention I have 2 giveaways today? I do. I'm very excited. One will be for Handspun Winter, and the final prize for Handspun Winter, I hope I haven't said this already because I've started this so many times. I'll have to look. The final prize for Handspun Winter will be handspun yarn out of my Etsy shop. So keep putting your stuff in there. Chatter's eligible for prizes. Just be a member of the group. I noticed someone recently was not a member of the group who posted. That's just kind of a standard knit-along etiquette, as it were. Now, speaking of the Etsy shop, I had so much fun putting bags that I made in there and seeing you guys buy them. I have a few left. I just want to briefly show. I have 2 kitty cat bags left. This one has gray and white polka dots. They're just the cutest little small project bag. The other one has big black and white polka dots. Well, white polka dots with a black background. And then I have a few hand-spun bags as well. Hand-spun, hand-woven, like this one, which is a drawstring. like this one, which is a zipper, sort of art yarns, pink zipper no less. And then this one, which is an art yarn. Love these. So those are still in my shop on Etsy, Fibertown over there. I will put the link to the shop, excuse me, my nose. Link to the shop in the down bar on YouTube, and also I'll put it where I embed the episode in Ravelry. Yes. So that was super fun. Thank you for supporting the shop. If you bought a bag, I hope you like it. Yeah, so let's talk about the first giveaway. And then we'll do whips, spinning, and Ask Fibertown and acquisitions. And really, it should go rather quickly, even though we're almost 6 minutes in and I haven't shown you anything that I've been knitting. That's unusual, I hope, for this podcast. All right, so the first giveaway was a lovely surprise. Janice and Kristen, who are the dyers behind Queen City Yarns, based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, asked me to pick some yarn for a giveaway. And so I went to their Etsy shop, again, Queen City Yarn on Etsy, or queencityyarn.com. I think that just directs you right to their Etsy shop. I chose this colorway, and I asked them to choose a base. So they sent me No Dust Sock. I think that's a neighborhood in Charlotte, and that's $75.25. It's a thin grist-wise. It's got great yardage because of the grist, which is 463 yards for 4 ounces, approximately that much. You guys, speckles. One of these is mine, and then whoever wins the second will be twinsies with me. So this is pixie dust, and I want to describe it as sort of a vanilla lime swirl with all of the colors speckled on there. So this is one of them. Look at that. Socks. Gorgeous socks with some texture, maybe blueberry waffles, maybe my Blether socks, which is a free pattern I have on Rav. Oh, so pretty. Both skeins, gorgeous. It would be great for contrast in a breathing space. Yeah, so I will open a thread on Rav. I don't know what the prompt will be, but I might be go visit their shop. We'll see. You'll see when you go there. And I'll pull this for next week's prize. Thank you, Janice and Kristen. That was such a lovely, lovely giveaway. And I can't wait to be twins with whoever wins. So I have another giveaway, which I think I will do towards the end, actually, because I want to get going with the meat. But let me just show you. This is a giveaway of this amazing ebook, Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2. Another 7-pattern caffeine-inspired knitting collection. Aren't they adorable? These ladies, they podcast from Edinburgh in Scotland, and they've put out another pattern. So they gave me one to give away to you guys, and it will go to someone who has been participating in Handspun Winter. Most likely, I'll do that today at the end. If I don't, then it'll be next week, and we'll just have all of the giveaways next week. Okay, so works in progress. Well, I have my car knitting, which is a sock I've shown you maybe months ago. Still in my car, but guess what? I'm almost ready for the toe decreases after it living in my car for a year. And that's just my emergency knitting and, waiting in lines and that sort of thing. If I don't have other knitting with me, I always have that. And then my Mustache Rose City Roller Shorty socks. They are also in the car at the moment, and the second one is on the heel flap. It's not interesting. It's out of the Sorting Hat colorway, which is gorgeous. I love it. But the real thing that has gotten all of my attention this week is The Lovage by Marie Wallen. So let me just grab her. She's right here. There was a little bit of drama this week, which this has been such smooth sailing, especially considering that I'm monkeying with the construction. So I needed to have some sort of drama with it for it to be a real sweater knit. Into each life some rain must fall, and truly it was just that my sleeve was weird. So Marie Wallen, has designed this sweater, which is gorgeous. I've talked a lot about it. I will recap all my stuff when I'm finished with it. But I finished the hem. I did a split hem. There it is right there. See, the back is a little longer. And I finished the first sleeve last night. Yes, so the drama was that I was about this far from here to here in the sleeve and realized that there was some weirdness in basically where the color work met the plain beige stockinette. I have since remedied that, and this is probably, it's definitely because I'm not following what Marie Wallace put out in the pattern. So what happens with color work is that it kind of sucks in, you know. It's tighter knitting than regular stockinette. And I had gone up a needle size on the sleeve color work. Because I knit tighter in small circumferences and because it's color work, I'd gone up to a US 6, which is a 4mm needle. And then started to do just sort of my own decreases on the sleeve. And really, I noticed there was a little weirdness, but I just kept going thinking it'll block out. Then I tried it on and realized that it's not going to block out. So what was happening was that the color work had sucked in and the stockinette belled out on either side. And I steamed it a little bit with my iron, just sort of steam like a few inches above the work, not right on the wool. And I tried it on and it looked weird. So out it ripped, and I started again and I did immediate decreases. So I decreased maybe 8 stitches. Before I ripped out, I sort of pinched on each side to see how many stitches I needed to take away to make it a more flush and easy and better looking transition, which I have. And I've tried this on and it's a great sleeve. So now all I have to do is the same thing on the second one. I took meticulous notes, so it should be easy. Now last week when I podcasted, had these sort of visions of having a finished sweater today. I don't think it would have happened, even if I hadn't ripped out. But we have cold weather for the rest of the week. So if I can hurry up, finish this, doing the color work I've done, see this is where my waist yarn is for the sleeve. So I've done, I don't know, 1/8 of the color work on the sleeve, and then I have all the rest of the beige, but I think that will go very fast this time. So one thing I didn't consider when doing the sleeves all the way already joined to the body, this is another drawback of the way I've done the sweater. I can live with it, but you know, there are ways to make it more pleasant. But basically you're doing in the round knitting and having to manage the bulk of the sweater at the same time. So I'm doing the color work on Knit Pro Zing's US 6s, 4mm. And that's how I did the color work on the other sleeve. But I realized pretty quickly when I started to do just the beige stockinette and the round that I needed a different needle. And I have done the stockinette on the same needle actually, but I needed a circular needle rather than double points because if you work on a circular needle with a long cord and you're doing magic loop, instead of having to turn the work 4 times for your double points, you're only doing it twice. So you knit, 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 adjust the fabric, adjust the magic loop, and knit to the rest, and then knit back. So you're just doing this rather than and then bringing it back around or whatever you need to do. So that's the lovage. Very ready to have that sweater. It's been a process and a product knit. It's the best kind of knit for me. Often I'm just a process knitter. I like the object when it's done usually, but I would say it's 75-25 process product. And this is kind of 50-50. I want to wear the sweater before spring comes. Although, I don't know, spring comes and goes at this point. So that's that. I do have some spinning. I'm spinning down my fiber stash just because I want to. I don't want fiber hanging out in my stash for too long. One thing that I've had for a while is fiber optic. It's got an apple sticker on it. That was my apple. It was delicious. It was a Honeycrisp from Washington State. Anyway, Kimber Baldwin Designs. She is the dyer behind fiber optic. And can I just say Kimber knows what she is doing? She is a great dyer. So this is one of her merino silk bases, which I have to say is not my favorite spin. But her colors make it worthwhile for me. A lot of people love to spin merino silk. I love the end result. I think it's going to make a great something. Although I only got 270 yards. You guys, look at these colors. So this is a chain ply, Navajo ply. So it goes from a honey to fig, from this lovely yellow into these ambers, and then like a coffee brown, and then a purple, like a little bit of royal purple, and then this redder purple, and then it's dark. It's gorgeous. I think this would make an amazing MPG, one of my designs, multi-purpose garment, sort of a cowl capelet thing. So that's going in my stash. I don't think I'll put it in the Etsy shop. And here's the reason why. The yarns I've put in the Etsy shop are yarns that I've kind of gone over with a fine-tooth comb. You know, no hand-spun yarn is perfect. And that's the beauty and the nature of hand-spun. It's just not, it's made by a human's hands, not a machine. So there will be variations. But I'm okay with the variations in the yarns I put in my Etsy shop. I think they're appropriate. I think they'll knit up fine, they'll weave up fine, what have you. This though, a chain ply, you'll start getting, see that? There's a bad, this is a perfectly fine strength-wise, and it'll probably knit up just fine. And that's one of the ones I could find that was like, if you get a thin spot in your yarn, a Navajo ply will highlight it. There's no getting away from it. Most of the time, it's gorgeous and consistent. It's a 3-ply. I'll show you some of the lighter colors. Isn't that pretty? But once in a while, you'll get a transition where there's a thin spot. And I don't want to put that in my shop. I don't feel good about it. It's probably fine, but I'll keep that one. So that's it for spinning. There's nothing else on my wheel right now. But there will be soon. So I have an Ask Fibertown and then some acquisitions. And then if there's time, I'll do the giveaway. So Amy Dozer, hi Amy Dozer. Hello, this is half question, half suggestion that maybe you have covered in one of your earlier podcasts. If you have, can you let me know? If not, I would love to hear your input. Here it is. And I kind of have covered this before, Amy Dozer. You might be new. You've got me hooked on hand combs. Yay, they're fun. They're meditative to use. I bought a set about a month ago and absolutely love them. Thank you. Smiley face. However, I was wondering about the waist. What do you do with your waist? If you card them, spin the waist up from rologs. I would love some tips on dealing with neppy fiber or hear your thoughts on what works best for spinning fiber with neps. Also, if you have experience spinning up the waist, have you then knit with it? How did it knit up? Thank you for the lovely podcast. Any thoughts would be greatly appreciated. Now, you might be thinking, you have done this, Emily. You've done a spinning experiment with this very thing, so I'm going to show it again. Why not? You might have forgotten. If you've already seen it, skip ahead 2 or 3 minutes. So I had fiber from a class with Deb Robeson. Have you guys seen her interview on the Fruity Knitting podcast? I just became a patron of the Fruity Knitting podcast. I just think they're so worthwhile. And yes, I spend money on my own podcast, but I want to spend a little bit on theirs because I really think they're doing good work. Okay. At any rate, we trialed some North Ronaldsay yarn, which I've talked about a lot before. It's an amazing yarn from the Orkneys. And we had fiber that was washed, but not really scoured. And it's a dual coated, it's breed, it's Kempe, it's primitive, it eats seaweed, it lives on the beach in the Orkneys. So what I did was I combed the North Ronaldsay wool. And then I had a ton of comb waste that it's such a precious wool I couldn't see discarding. Typically, typically I'll just discard my comb waste. I have to be honest. I have so much wool that were I to save every little bit of when I cleaned the drum carder or when I had comb waste, you know, I wouldn't be able to walk around my house. That's an exaggeration, but I have other fiber that I'd rather work with that's just waiting for me. So saving, you know, I could save it to stuff stuffies, but I don't make stuffies. So anyway, but I usually get rid of it. But the North Ronaldsay was such a precious wool, I could not do that. So I'm going to show you a pair of socks. It's on my Ravelry. These are inspired by Ranger Knits, who is Fibertrack's husband. And he knits some socks that were kind of similar in look, and I just it sparked something, and I said, that's what I want to do with my Wensleydale from that class, and then my North Ronaldsay. And I call these magic socks. They are such socks. They're wonderful to wear. I almost feel like they have therapeutic qualities. But the prep and the spinning, this is how I did, and I want to make sure I'm answering your questions. I got about half combed top from the North Ronaldsay and half waist. So this sock was made from the combed top. See those nice smooth stitches? You can see bits of Kemp probably coming out. Gorgeous marling from, there's a little bit of pilling on my Wensleydale heel flap. Just really beautiful and smooth. Smooth-ish. I mean, with the Kemp in there and the guard hairs, it's all relative. So the combing waist, I took it and I actually put it on my drum carder and carded it. You could make rologs. That'd be simple enough to do on hand cards. And then I spun it, and I really had to kind of let go of, I was just like, this is a precious wool. Yes, it's full of neps. So what? I'm going to spin a neppy yarn. It's going to be fine. And then I knit the second sock out of, well, the leg here is mostly the combed bit. This is why this sock is so great. And then I ran out of the combed top yarn and then started to knit the foot with the neppy yarn. So you can see the difference in this one sock. Smooth. Now this yarn was super neppy, but you know what? It's in my shoe and I think it has character. Look at this yarn. Some thicker bits. See the difference? So I guess the answer is it depends on the wool for me, whether or not I'm going to save the combing waist. Generally, no, I'm not. Unless it's got some sort of special connection for me and I want to make sure I use as much of the wool as possible. So I guess, don't pick the neps out. It might feel weird if you feel like you want to control your yarn and you want to have a smooth and consistent yarn. You might have to just step back and say, it's going to happen how it's going to happen. And really, when you knit with this yarn, it makes a fabric that's full of character and it's useful fabric. And I think that's it. Just want to make sure that I've answered all your questions. So dealing with neppy fiber, if it's not pleasant to spin, then I'm not going to deal with it. But that was pleasant to spin. If it's a preparation that's not supposed to be neppy, and it is, I've kind of, because I have so much other stuff that I'd rather be spinning that I want to get to, I'm not going to waste my time with fiber that does not please me to spin. I have put fiber in the trash. okay. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not spending my time on it. So good luck, and I hope that you have some great experiences spinning and playing with your combs. Very fun. Okay, if you have an Ask Fibertown question, I do love getting them, so ask away and we'll talk. Acquisitions, folks. I have some fun ones this week, and I'm looking around. I'm trying to see, what am I going to show you first? Let's do the fabric. This is cotton. It is from New World Textiles, and I first heard about this company, Ninja Chickens, the Ninja Chickens podcast. This is my hand in one layer of it. So it's a decent weight cotton. I haven't washed it. I'm not sure if I will before I dye it. Yes! This is pre-mordanted cotton. And New World Textiles, here is they're in Black Mountain, North Carolina. I think it's a friend of Maria from Ninja Chickens. And it's Dye-licious cotton, and they have several different kinds. And this is a really interesting company. It's woman-owned, I believe, pretty sure. And it's grown and milled all in sort of a 3-state radius. North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe one other, I can't recall. But I'm going to dye this with the rest of my avocado pit that I need to make another dye and sort of let that age for a while, but I'm very excited. And if it turns out well, I'll probably make it into bags. But this, some of them are striped. I think this one is partially striped, partially not. A shaded stripe, that's what it's called, shaded stripe. So it should be very, very fun to dye, and it's pre-mordanted, so you don't have to deal with that, just with the dyeing. And so the parts that aren't mordanted will release the dye, not keep the dye, and the parts that are will grab onto the dye. It should be a fun experiment. Now this other fabric I bought, it's a bit of a splurge, but I'm sort of planning my summer wardrobe. Can you get over this linen? Look at this linen. This is from fabrics-store.com. I had seen their Instagram, and this is just, look at the slub in there. It's a really beautifully dyed and woven linen. The threads are, the warp and the weft are, I think the warp is black. The warp is black and the weft is purple. I can't remember the details about where this is made, but I'm just kind of in love with this, and I'm going to make, I don't know what I'm going to make. Possibly a willow tank, possibly a skirt. I think I have 2 yards. Yeah, so that was from fabrics.store.com. So store, dash is dots, you know what I mean. So, a few more acquisitions. Let's talk about yarn. So the Woolly Thistle, she's got all the lovely stuff. And she's got a sale going right now, an Edinburgh Yarn Festival commiseration sale. If you're not there, then buy some yarn, buy some British yarn. And she's got Lopi, and she's got all sorts of great stuff. I wanted some more Jamieson & Smith because the stuff in my Lovage sweater is amazing for color work. But this is the Shetland Heritage line. Oh, look at that, this is so soft. It's a 2-ply. These are great for color work, and I got all the natural shades of Shetland. And this, I was sort of inspired by another Fruity Knitting interview with, I think, Oliver Henry, who is the wool grader at Jamieson & Smith. I hope that's his name. I know there's an Oliver in there somewhere because that's my son's name. So this might be a Crofthouse hat. It might be, I haven't looked at the new Shetland Wool Week hat to see if it's with this type of yarn or not, but Gudrun Johnston is the patron and the designer of the new pattern. So it might become one of those hats if this is suitable. I'm not sure. But yes, Woolly Thistle, Very, very fun stuff. And I popped a couple of these in my cart. This is from Hive Tender. I enjoy following her on Instagram. I love this stuff. This is supernatural. Well, supernatural, not like ghosts. It is very natural. And yeah, almond oil, beeswax, coconut oil, vitamin E, propolis, which is a bee product. So yeah, she's got amazing honeys, and then Claire of the Woolly Thistle stocks this in her skincare section. I try to get some when I can. Okay, so I went to my LYS, Looped. I call it my LYS. I get there maybe once or twice a month. It's not super local, but it's my favorite. Anyway, they have the new, I think these are pronounced Luca. I'm guessing, and based on things I've heard, Luca, like Huga, like the Danish word. I think that Y is pronounced like a U. So I have US. These are made out of driftwood. So this is the US 6, 4 millimeters, and yes, they're different colors. They're smooth, they're pointy, they're kind of a little bit shiny. I guess they're waxed. And they're just lovely. And I'm saving these for my Camaro sweater. So I got, these are US 7s, 4.5 millimeters. And I got both with a 32 inch. I got the wrong cable length. I thought it was a 32 inch. Oh well. They were not expensive, under $10. And I'm enjoying a little different wooden needle. I also picked up this at Looped. I don't have a fringe supply bag. I feel like knit. But I'll find a place to put this, even though I don't have a fringe supply bag. That's okay. All right, what time is it? Oh, goodness. All right, you know what? I'm just going to do this anyway. I'm going to give away a prize. So if you are doing Handspun Winter, I hope you've watched this far, because here we go. I'm going to give away this prize, and I'm going to talk about the patterns. Uh-oh. That can't be good. Sorry, guys. Oh, I have to update it. Okay, let me... You know what? Because I'm not as prepared as I thought I was, I will video this separately and insert it. So, tomorrow I have my high school knitters coming back for a reunion because we didn't get to finish up our week together because of illness. They're coming back for fondue and some knitting. So I'm excited to see them again tomorrow. And even if you aren't knitting with friends, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and take care till next time. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the review of Coffee with Cece and Dammy 2. These are two lovely ladies who live in Scotland, and they are mother-daughter. And in this iteration of their design work, Dammy, the daughter, is also designing. So that was very exciting. So there are 7 designs in this collection. And I don't have the ebook up because my iPad is old and was giving me issues, but I have the Ravelry page up with pictures, and I'm just going to talk briefly about each design. This is a US $16 download. It's 7 designs, so that's $2 and a little bit more for each pattern. Excellent value. And I have a winner of this collection I will announce at the end. Okay, so let me just start by showing you my very favorite of these patterns. This is called the 1-shot, 2-shot, 3-shot fingerless mitts. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I love this picture, even though it's on my iPad, so it's a little bit not the best. But look at that cable. You know, I love long fingerless mitts, but this pattern gives you a thumb and it gives you 3 different lengths. And I love that yarn too. Isn't that pretty? It's a gorgeous cable that sort of swirls down the arm. And yeah, look at that. that same cable is on all the mitts, but there are 3 different sizes. So that is a lovely idea. So that was 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shots, so espresso themed. And there are more that I love in here, but that was one of them. So just to an overview, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sock patterns, and then there's that mitt pattern, and then there's a shawl pattern. So Baby Chino is the second pattern. It's little wee baby socks, and it looks like there are 3 different sizes as well. So lovely. And she sort of progressively moves through the patterns in a difficulty level, and she has like 1 coffee cup for very easy, that kind of thing. You know, intermediates 2 cups, etc. So the chai latte socks, stripy, textured, really adorable. These would look great in so many different yarns. So there it is. Nice little textured sock. Looks like it would be fun to knit and very wearable. I really like the texture on the instant coffee socks, and this is one of the patterns by Dami. And let's see. Oh, this is a DK weight sock. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh, I can think of some hand spuns that would look great in that. Do you know Tess, oh gosh, is it Tessa or Tess? For some reason I'm blanking. She has the Interim Knits podcast. She's doing a hand spun sock knit along. These would be great for hand spun. So that's a really pretty design, instant coffee socks. Espresso con panna. I have to say that a little bit Italian. Espresso con panna. Panna is cream in Italian. Another lovely pair of textured socks. This would be great for dude socks, light fingering. So different weights. I like how they do different yarn weights and they do different sizes where applicable. And then this one I just think is adorable. A fingering weight sock. Hot chocolate with pink marshmallows. And that's cables, X's and O's. Really cute. Very cute. And it looks like an interesting bind off. I think this one might be, oh, they're either toe up or cuff down. And I'm not giving you all the details, but one thing that they do in their ebooks and their patterns are they give you so many options. Different sizes, you can use it toe up or cuff down with different methods or different patterns. And then this is the shawl. This is a stole and it's gorgeous. This is called the flat white. And I'm gonna give you a close-up so you can see that lace a little bit better. The flat white is a fingering weight, uses a little over 1,000 yards, but that's completely variable depending on how much you want to knit it. Oh, and these patterns are all available individually as well. This one has a chart. Looks like a fairly easy lace. And a flat white is one of my favorite coffees to drink. Yum. Yes. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's really beautiful close up. Look at that. It would be nice for a yarn with a little variation or a tonal, but it could take a little variegation, I think. Not crazy, but really beautiful lace pattern. So that's Coffee with Cece and Dami 2, 7 patterns, lots of different sizes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 socks, those adorable gauntlets, and that beautiful shawl. You can buy it $16 for all of them, or individually they're about, the shawl was $5.50. I didn't look at how much the socks were. But you guys should check it out. This is what the ebook cover looks like. There are the 2 ladies having coffee. And you can also look under Java Pearl, P-U-R-L, designs to find Cece's patterns. She's got a lot of great ones. So I pulled a winner from the Handspun Winter Thread, and that was Random Chose 139, who is Clementine O, and she's from Pennsylvania, I believe. So Clementine, you're the lucky winner of the whole ebook. So let me know when you hear about this, and I will have Cece gift you the ebook. Okay, guys, take care till next time.